Hello Twin Flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to this special Samhain reading. I will go straight into the read. I'm not gonna do any kind of special spread today. If you missed my ancestor reading, please go to the channel. I believe is the last one on it, just the one before this reading, and I go much deeper into the ancestor energy and different levels of what we're supposed to know, how we're supposed to navigate the current energies. But we are in, so I'm not gonna do that again. This is gonna be a twin flame read. But since we are in Samhain time right now, it's celebrated between the sunset of October 31st till the sunset of November 1st, then of course we'll keep that as the spirit of the reading. And so please feel free to also connect, especially now in this moment where we are setting ourselves up for the reading, and it's as much as yours as it is mine. Like, it is a process, it is a dialogue between us, right? So your energy also gets engaged. Feel free to connect to a specific ancestor, specific relative that you feel called towards, or you can also ask a question. You can set an intention for this conversation with the ancestors. With all that said, we will pull first and foremost, we will pull an oracle message from the angel therapy deck. I think we can all use a little bit of angel therapy, right? Especially on a Friday. I mean, yes, I know it is Halloween today and I'm not even dressed up in a costume. Oh my goodness. And you know what? I'm fine with that. I feel like this is the phase in my life where it's less about appearances, it's less about costumes, especially if it's for a, like a social appearance, right? Just because the society dictates it that way, right? My soul actually, and like my essence is asking to not do that, right? Like, I'm not gonna do that if it's unexpected. I'm gonna do it when I feel like it. But with all that said, let's focus on our connection. And even those who celebrate Halloween, tomorrow is the All Saints Day, which is a Christian equivalent of Samhain. We also have the Day of the Dead coming up in Mexico. So, by the way, I watched it's not a documentary, how do I call this? Like, there are all these different travel shows where somebody kind of like unaware about the cultures of the world travels to all these different places and finally learns, and they make like an entertaining show about it, but they also give you a lot of information. I did watch one recently about the Day of the Dead, which was with oh my god, it was Eugene Levy. It's called The Reluctant Traveler on Apple TV, and they have an episode. It might be the beginning of this season, might actually be the previous season. I don't remember. I don't actually have Apple TV, but I was watching it, a friend's place, and that's why I have those episodes a little mixed up, because I was kind of just like scrolled through the entire thing, all the seasons, and saw like, okay, I'm interested in this and this and in this. It might be this season, actually, the beginning of it, but what I figured is that they actually recorded it a year ago. So I'm like the timing just doesn't work. How are you showing this in like September when the Day of the Dead is in November? And they're showing you live footage of like, this is the celebration and Eugene taking part in it. But it is pretty good from what I know about the Mayan culture and this holiday specifically, and definitely invite you to watch it if you have a chance. Though they said for divine feminines, the card is the fairies. Look at that. They're just talking about Celtic tradition and suddenly the fairies appear. Who would have thought, right? You have a strong bond with the fairies, and your life purpose involves helping Mother Nature. How about that? Such a beautiful time. Samhain is definitely in Celtic tradition. It's one of those biggest milestones in a year. When I was in Ireland last year, we actually saw like one of these stone circles where they had stones of different size depending on the events, and like you could tell, like there is a way, even though it's really, really old, there's a way to tell of like what stands for what, right? And that's kind of the point, circle, right? And how the sun goes around, that kind of demonstrates the calendar year. And there's a huge stone that stands for Samhain because it's one of the big milestones when the nature goes to sleep, and we're celebrating the end of the harvest season, right? All the gifts that we've received from Mother Nature. There's a little bit of a parallel to the Thanksgiving, but it is still different. But just to give you an idea, right? So it's that milestone. After that, like, we go into that hibernation mode. In Ireland, maybe even more so because it's Northern Europe. It's pretty cold. There's a lot of rain, right? You don't want to be outside. Like, it is, obviously, it's not like at the polar circle, but it's still quiet up north. And I noticed it when I was there in summer, of how long the days were. Like 10 p.m. there was still sunlight out. It looked like it was maybe 7 p.m. in our time, our altitude. And of course in winter it's the other way around. The nights are very long. You don't have much daylight at all, right? And it gets even colder, of course, if the sun is not around. So very interesting time. And this could be a great opportunity for you to see how you can contribute to Mother Nature, or what kind of message you have, or maybe also what kind of question you have. Who knows, right? For masculines, the message is clear yourself. Ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed. I think the last time we used this deck, the message for the masculines was cut the cords. But you know what? I would say that even if you've cut the cords, or at least like on the 3D level, that whatever that toxic energy was, it's not in your life, the damage has been done. So walking away, cutting the cords, cutting the contact is very important. And yes, for those wondering, this is a cat on the couch. Yes, you're not imagining that. So it's important to walk away and break that cord, so that you're not feeding the toxic energy of the person, or they're not draining you. But cleansing your energy field, cleansing your body is a big second step. That's just as important, right? Otherwise, the body remembers everything. It saves all the pain, all the fear, and it's gonna keep it, whether we like it or not. Even if we keep telling ourselves, "Ooh, but now I understand what happened," you go through the day. That's not enough, right? You need to cleanse the body and the energy. So ask the angels to release any toxic energy. Ask them to help you. And of course, in the context of what we're doing today, you can ask your ancestors to step in and help you with that. All right. For the main read, I'm using the Steampunk Tarot. I might find another deck in the next couple of days, but we'll see. Right now I'm on the road, so making the most of what I have with me. Okay. By the way, don't forget to hit that like button, and also let me know in the comments what you'd like to see more of on the channel. Let me know if you missed the podcast, by the way. I'm like this close now to starting to post it again. 5 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I feel like I started talking about that cold energy, cold weather, and I actually felt that cold in my body. I felt it. Like, it's such a strong sensation right now in the collective, right? Feeling cold, feeling left out in the cold. In America, we have so much going on now, and I know that pretty much any country that you're from, you can say something similar. But I'm in States, so I'm speaking on behalf of where I'm based, and a lot of you actually are in States as well. So I would say, yeah, it's the time where there's so much of the fog and unknownness and actual cold weather. I mean, I don't know about you, we had a huge rainstorm yesterday. That's why I didn't actually post the reading, because it just, like, I had my approximate time when I was gonna do it in the afternoon, and it just gotten so dark. There was so much noise, so much wind. I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna be a good reading. I kind of felt like this is just not the time. I need to sort of, like, if anything, connect to that moment of the storm. But it is, it is stressful to the system, especially if for some reason you had to be outside, right? Or you had travel plans, or your loved ones were outside and you were worried about them. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like the connection. By the way, Five of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. How do we break the gap? Or how do we stop being worried that we're alone or we're not lovable, and enjoy the connection and do our part of the exchange? The energy of the feminines right now is the moon clarified by the Temperance. Really strong energies. The full moon is coming up on the 5th of November. It's gonna be full moon in Taurus. I kind of started dropping some hints about it already. Of course, we'll talk about it more in a couple of days. But what I would say was this huge major arcanas is that this is time now to tune into your feelings and emotions a lot more. And it's gonna prep you for the full moon. It's gonna help you figure out where you are and how you want to change things, right? But right now it's important to listen to yourself and to support yourself in the moment of loneliness, weakness, whatever it is, whatever the stress you're feeling, whatever seems out of place, whatever you want to be different, right? Just like sit with that feeling and give yourself and your inner child that support, right? That create that space to just be. Do not feel like, okay, I'm not allowed to feel this way, right? Or, that's not cool. I don't have time for this. No, make time, make space for yourself to be in that state, to really go through it, even if it's seemingly negative. Remember that the negative positive is what we assign to it with our mind. Masculines, you have the Chariot clarified by Knight of Swords. Very interesting. Both of them are about movement. Although in this case, the Chariot, I wouldn't say that she's really moving, right? It's more laid back, kind of like, I'm still deciding. I don't know about that. But I feel like you're actually being kind of like, there is some impatience in the field. That's what I'm getting with the masculines. Like the masculines, like when, like I'm ready to go, room, kind of vibe. And the universe is like, well, are you sure about that? Can we double check that? So in my example, for instance, with travel plans, like maybe you're like, okay, I'm definitely, I don't know, traveling to Thailand for a month. And then the universe is like giving you these different obstacles. And it's almost like you're starting to doubt yourself. Is that the right move? Or like, why is it taking such a long time? I'm excited, maybe a little anxious, but like I'm really, like I want to jump in. And the universe is like, hang on a second. Yep, we'll slow you down. And it could look like delays with paperwork, change of travel plans. Maybe whoever was accompanying you, they have something, their situation changed, right? So it's kind of like it's putting it on pause or it's postponing it. And you're like, okay. So you're being actually taken into a slower pace of this to unfold. And it also means, what I'm hearing is the details are important of how this is unfolding. All the different aspects of it, including how you are stepping into it, the information that you have and the state that you're in. And maybe that is also the part where you're not 100% there yet. So do not push aside everything else that's going on in your life just because you're now excited about this thing. Right? The other stuff might be the necessary prerequisite. Living through those circumstances, talking to those people, meeting with that someone will be something that's going to be necessary for you then to embark on this big journey that you're excited about. Additional question for today. King of Pentacles clarified by Three of Wands. So this is like, where are we even going? What do we want? How do we find out if we don't know right now? For feminines, Two of Swords clarified by the Hanged Man. Yeah, it's not about the speed. It's not about quantity. It's about quality right now. It's like, see the world. Like this new perspective that we see with the Hanged Man is being prepped. You've been prepped for it for a long time now. You've been walking towards it. So don't run chasing back just because whatever somebody says that's the way, or you got scared at a certain point, so you feel like going into a more familiar vibe, right? No, you've made such a journey, it took a lot out of you to get there. And now you're supposed to use that energy and make your judgment, make your decisions out of that space. The card of the day today was actually about making decisions, right? But don't make decisions out of that old place. And sometimes, even if it's not you talking, if it's someone else, it may still mean that. I had that conversation with a couple of people actually in the last week, and that reminded me. And yes, it is like the topic of the conversation was about something that gives me some fear. Legit, I admit it, right? And it's sometimes easier to just like listen to like the voice of wisdom, you know? Because like whatever the excuse is, because I need a quick solution, because they may actually know better, because I can use some support because I'm tired of figuring this out by myself, whatever that is. Right now, it's important, and I realized at some point that my word, my perspective, my take is the most important in this. And if I feel confident about the steps that I'm taking, nobody else's opinion actually matters. And yes, some people got upset with that, but so well, it's life. For masculines, the Lovers clarified by the Wheel of the Year. Oh my goodness, 2 major arcanas. We have actually quite a lot of major arcanas here overall in this reading. It's pretty crazy. So what do the masculines want? It's like they have been resisting the love and the importance of having a loving, committed partner in their life for way too long. And now it's like they can't resist it anymore. Right? It's like the universe is like has been given nudges to divine masculine that it's important. A worthy, good partner that you'll be in alignment with is very important for your life and for your happiness, for your achievements, for any aspect of it. But they've been resisting that, kind of like, no, I'm great just the way I am, you know, or I'm fine on my own, or I want to make it on my own, whatever it is, right? And now it's like this realization that whatever is universe bringing in is a blessing. And you better pick up the signs, you know, and act on them, divine masculines. How are the feminines seeing the connection at this time? Ace of Cups clarified by 8 of Swords. The love is there, but there's still a lot of overthinking of how it may all go wrong. You know, and I'm not even criticizing anyone. Hopefully you didn't get triggered, but that's how our brain works. Because it's wired to keep us safe, a lot of the time, even if we have a heart full of love and deep down we know that we are moving forward, that everything's unfolding beautifully, there's still that doubt, there's still our brain, our psyche telling us, yeah, but it can all disappear in a moment. Or you think that the other person's on the same page, but they may not be. Or you have a plan for how the next steps are gonna unfold, but what if it doesn't work out, right? Like there is this doubt. Feminines, if you're watching, continue tapping into that energy of love. And I'm not saying disregard any kind of signs of caution or whatever. I'm just saying don't let it absorb you entirely. And sometimes it's okay not to make a quick decision. I actually had this channeling for myself, the download last night, which has to do with why men make a lot of assumptions, and essentially just on average they're more judgmental. And I had this big, there was a lot that came to me, and I'll probably make a video of it, some kind of content, we'll see. But the important part was that there is an urge to make fast decisions and to find a solution. Like there's pressure. And so a lot of times, and it's not, of course, not just for men, it's just the point of the channeling was that it's more relevant for men for a reason, right? That's how we've been primed. That's partly also how nature drives us in terms of hormones and physiology and what we are primed for. But it doesn't mean that it only happens to men, to women as well, especially in the modern day and world, right? Where we do feel pressure to move forward, to make progress, even if it's progress in the eyes of our friend who we're talking to when we're catching up over coffee, and it's like, well, I've got to talk about something interesting, right? How come that nothing's moving in my relationship? What am I even gonna say to my friend? Like, is that really that important? But that's how we think, that's how we operate a lot of times. Masculines, wow, how are masculines in the connection? Queen of Wands, King of Wands. I mean, do I even need to say anything? The masculines can see how great of a match you both are in what you're passionate about, in your values. For some of you, especially if you've been intimate, in also how aligned you are in terms of sex, in terms of physical intimacy, what you like, how you pleasure each other, you know, love language in that aspect, whatever it is, like how it's taken that experience to a new level for both of you, right? Even if you're still not very open about it to each other, but it's like, oh my goodness, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, right? And it's interesting because there's a lot of elation here, there's a lot of excitement and even euphoric feeling. But what I'm also getting here, especially because the Queen is on the forefront, that's the main card, is it actually scares the masculine a little bit of how much dependent they are on it. Like, it feels like a drug now, it feels like obsession, and it scares them a little bit. So that may take some time to kind of not just calm down, but actually reconcile that sense of like, maybe it's actually dangerous for me, maybe I'm getting too much ahead of myself, like that's what the masculines are contemplating these days. Okay, I hope this was useful for you guys. Thank you so much for being with me. I'll definitely create more videos over the next couple of days, including the full moon video. And it will be guidance for each zodiac sign for sure. Also, this is end of the month and beginning of November, which means that November reads are coming up. So I'll be busy and you'll get lots of videos. So definitely stay tuned. Definitely subscribe if you haven't done that yet and like the video. And until next time.